All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Another episode of the Always Chillin' Podcast. Skinny Dean and Sandman in the barbershop. Took a couple weeks off just because other shit going on, man. You might still be able to hear my boogers, but
A little 2 week hiatus.
yeah, had a pretty good cold last weekend, and then I've just had just mucus, man, just coming out of me ever since. I feel fine. It's just still coughing shit up or whatever. So maybe I have the kind of sick voice where I sound better. Or maybe I don't. I don't know. Let me know. But, so while we were gone, lots of stuff happened. Man, I mowed my yard today, which I just want to bitch about just because it was like 95
Yeah, you picked the right day to do that.
It fucking sucks, dude.
Man.
Well, and I guess next week it's supposed to be like 105 every fucking day.
Yeah, that shit that was going on down south and out west is coming this way.
Yeah, some crazy shit. So I'm like, well, I better mow.
It's coming
today. And every year, man, like in the back corner of my yard, this big ass tree starts growing, and it grows super fast. And every single year, I kill it. I buy like tree killer, and I go out there and I spray it, and it dies. And I take it out, and I just have like sticks laying around because it's a super thin tree. I don't even know what kind of tree it is. It's like super thin and it grows super fast, but it's a tree. Like it grows wood. Like I have to chop that shit.
Nice little trunk.
Yeah. Like I gotta saw through it to get rid of it. So every single year I kill it, I get rid of it. Every single year there's another one. And it's like it comes up overnight, dude. Like one day it's not there, and the next day it's sticking up over the fence all of a sudden.
Does it got a little smell to it? Is it sappy at all? Like green on the inside?
No, well, yeah, a little bit when it's when it's new.
Yeah, I think what you got to do is download the app with the plant recognizer.
Yeah.
Like it'll tell you what
I have that app, but I don't even know anything about plants, and I always know it's wrong. You know?
Well, we got some.
I've tried to do it before, and it's like, oh, that's what this is. And I'm looking, and I'm like,
that ain't it.
Like, not even close.
Yeah. Well, we had some shit growing in our front yard the other day, and I thought one of my nieces had stuck like a hot Cheeto in the ground, and it was just sticking up out of the ground, right? So I'm like, what the fuck? You know, so I went to the flies were all over it. That's what caught my eye. Like flies, bro, like they were living on it and shit. So I was like, fuck. Let me get rid of this. You know, I was cleaning up the yard, but before I touched it, I looked at it and I'm like, that ain't a hot Cheeto. So I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it had like another little branch coming out of the ground that was creeping along the ground, you know. And why I tell you to download this app, you know, Jenna, you know, she loves plants and shit. Our whole living room is a goddamn jungle. So I call her out like, yo, use your app and see what the fuck this is. You know, and it's pretty accurate. I don't know what the name of it is, but it's pretty accurate.
I'll have to ask her.
But she, you know, takes a picture of it and it doesn't recognize it.
Oh, it's a new species, unknown species.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, shit, this must be something new.
You can name it whatever you want. Hottest cheetahs.
I think we got a fucking woodchuck, though, in our front yard.
Really?
Yeah. I catch it on my camera.
I know
it's
what is it?
It doesn't look like it can't be a beaver.
I guess I don't even know what a woodchuck is.
And it's bigger than a cat, bro.
What's a woodchuck? Oh, it's like a groundhog. Well, groundhogs are referred to as woodchucks or whistle pigs.
Whistle pigs?
Yeah, they're a member of the squirrel family. There's 6 species of woodchucks that occur in the United States. They commonly invade vegetable gardens. Well, that makes sense.
Oh, fuck.
That'd be why you got one hanging around.
Yeah, that's probably why.
You got shit.
Well, the motherfucker's huge, man.
Really?
Yeah. You know, and animals pick shit up everywhere.
Yeah.
They drop shit. You know, they take shits. They eat shit, take a shit.
These are kind of cool. They do look like beavers. They
do.
Just have like a bushy tail.
I think they'll fuck you up too, won't they?
Oh, I don't know.
They got teeth?
I think most stuff will fuck you up,
I
man.
think, especially living in the wild, it'll fuck you up. You corner a goddamn woodchuck. Well, shit, a woodchuck. Why they call it a woodchuck? He chopped down trees, right?
I don't know.
Motherfucker eat wood? Why do they call it a woodchuck?
Let's see. So it's just a groundhog. It's the same thing as a groundhog, I guess.
Why do they call it a woodchuck? I think that's false advertising.
They call them chucks, woodshocks, ground pigs, whistle pigs, whistler, thickwood badger, Canada marbit, monarchs, moonox, weenusks, red monks, land beavers.
I guess it depends on where the fuck you at, huh?
And if you're French, they're called siffleux. Thickwood badger.
So it's a squirrel?
Yeah, it's a rodent. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a large group of ground squirrels known as marmots. I thought marmot was a kind of monkey.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
I guess I'm just stupid.
Well, Ain't there a monkey they call a flying squirrel monkey or some shit?
Oh, I'm sure there is. Let's see. What do they do?
Diet. Yeah, the squirrel monkey. I think he flies.
They eat grass. Cool. Behavior. Okay. Let's see.
So
they hide when they see people. Okay. Makes sense. They're really good swimmers. They climb trees. When they want to escape something or when they want to survey their I guess they just get up in trees and like look around at shit.
Damn.
They run to their burrows when they're threatened. If
so
the burrows
burrow. Okay.
Yeah, if their burrow's invaded, they defend themselves with too large in size. So I guess they got like beaver teeth.
I'm trying to think if I got any big ass holes anywhere.
Maybe we got a couple big holes. Maybe we got a fucking
might have a woodchuck, homie.
We have a woodchuck. They have too large incisors and front claws.
So they'll fuck you up.
I guess so.
Yeah, they'll fuck you up.
Groundhogs are generally agnostic. I don't know what that means.
They fuck with you, like antagonizing you and shit, like fucking with you.
Oh, yeah, it is. It does mean that. So what does it mean if you're agnostic, like religiously? Does that mean you're like aggressively against?
Yeah, you just keep badgering a motherfucker. Yeah, I mean, you keep knocking on my fucking door when I told you I was.
All right, let's see. So we're on a totally different thing now. What's agnosticism?
I've heard that word in the religious. What is it?
Oh, I guess that's kind of what I am, is agnostic. It's the view or belief that the existence of God or the divine or the supernatural is unknown and unknowable. Like we can't know. Like you basically, like that's how I kind of feel. Is like I guess I'll find out when I die. You know, because like I don't know. Like no one's been able to prove to me that God's real, but no one's ever been able to prove to me that God's not real either. You know.
I can dig it.
Because it's like, I mean, science, whatever, like the Big Bang and evolution, like God could have made
Darwin theory.
I mean, like God could have made that.
Very well could have.
You know, like maybe God, that was the plan, was for stuff to evolve.
The whole time.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
And I don't even think like, I don't think it even would be God. It would just be like, I don't know. I don't know. But I guess that's kind of what I am. Agnostic. So atheism is when you're like, there's not
just you don't believe in anything.
Straight up, there's no God.
Yeah.
Well, you do believe that
you believe in something, but
you believe there's no God.
No God.
Or I guess.
And then we got the other fuckers.
Yeah. So agnostic. I guess that's closer to what I am. Is agnostic.
Okay.
It's an indifference or absence of firm beliefs in religion. Yeah, or atheism. Sure. Another definition is the view that human reason is incapable of providing sufficient rational grounds to justify either the belief that God exists or the belief.
I guess I can understand like, both ways.
Yeah, it's like God is. It's like God's so it's just beyond our understanding.
Like I dig what you're saying. Like if there's a group of us, you know what I mean, and everybody's trying to tell me this ding 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 ding, and I'm like, how in the fuck would you know? None of you all put together could possibly know any of the shit that you're really telling me.
Nobody knows for sure.
But I'll use my personal, life experiences. I feel like God was definitely with me in quite a few of my life experiences where I made it out or I made it away or I made it through.
Yeah.
So I can see both sides of that. Yeah. I don't know what you call that.
I think that's
am I in that?
I think that's a little bit agnostic. Okay. Yeah, I think.
Well, I guess
it's like I don't know, and that's okay too.
Like I'm up for the discussion. I'm definitely up for the discussion. Well, and I'm down
to be convinced. Like if you have something that's going to prove to me that God's real, I want to see it.
Okay, if you shook his hand,
I want to see it. Like
tape record the next conversation you had with him. You know what I'm saying?
I'm open to it.
I'm open to it.
Not that it's the same thing. That's how I feel about like ghosts and stuff too. Like I've never seen a ghost. I've never experienced a ghost, but I'm open to it. Like if one of the people that lives here still comes walking down the stairs and comes and waves to me right now, like I'm not gonna say that wasn't a ghost, you know. Like,
and again, I'm both sides of it.
Yeah, like I could go either way.
Where when people tell me, they'll tell you, "Well, I saw my grandpa." I'm like,
well, where it gets weird for me is when people are like, "Well, I dreamt about my grandpa," and it's like, well, that's not that weird.
I dreamt. Okay.
Yeah, like my grandpa just died and I had a dream.
Land on the couch and you open your eyes. And not because he's not going to be in that form anymore.
Yeah.
That shell is gone.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist anymore. So I'm gonna go to my life experience. I got goosebumps, you know. And there were two of my homies in the car with me, and one of my homies is even a pastor now. So to listen to him tell a story, it's just crazy. Where we were riding down the street, bro, and I don't know what we saw. It just looked like a black blob cloud thing just floated across the street. Made me turn. He turned down my music, and he made me reverse and turn around and go the opposite direction. So I guess I'm still on both. But when you can show me it was your grandfather, like in form with his suit on and shit, I'm like, I don't believe that.
Yeah, that's where it gets. Like people are like, oh, I had a dream about my grandpa after he died, and he told me that he's in heaven now and everything's okay. And it's like, well, it's probably just what you think.
Yeah, right.
You know. And then I even get weird. Like it's weird for me when it's like, oh, I woke up in the middle of the night and saw. So it's like, well, did you wake up or were you dreaming still? I don't know. And then it's always like, oh, when I was 6 years old, and I'm like, well, you're 40 now. So it's like, are you remembering that right?
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Are you embellishing?
So for me to even entertain like a ghost story, it needs to be like, I was wide awake. It was broad daylight.
We all saw
this
it.
was last week. Like me and 4 other people saw it or heard it or whatever. When I'm mowing, I listen to like ghost stories and shit like that.
Yeah.
And there's this one about these people that they stopped to camp, but like the campground was closed because they found like a dead body in the hot springs or something.
Oh, well, fuck.
So they went to a different campground. They just like turned off the road and they found this like marker for like some battle against like Native Americans and Mormons. Shit. It was in Utah.
Oh, cool. Wow.
Yeah, and they said they were just chilling in the forest and like they decided to go to bed and then they woke up in the middle of the night and they thought they heard like drums and chanting and they felt like the ground was vibrating, but then they said they had like the best sleep ever after that. So they thought that it was just a dream and shit. But there was a few of them camping. So they all woke up in the morning and they were all like, yo, did you hear that shit last night? Like they didn't talk about it the night before, but all of them were like, did you hear that or was I dreaming? And they were all of them were like, I thought I was dreaming. And then they all said that they had the best sleep of their life.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, so it's, when there's like 4 or 5 like adults that like aren't intoxicated, and then when it's like we were drunk as hell and we saw a ghost.
Okay,
like,
then you start losing me.
I'm not down for that either. But
yeah, that happened.
Yeah, but I'm down to be convinced. But I'm also aware that some people are really, really eager to say something was, a ghost or whatever. Sometimes you can be in a house with somebody, and I'm sure like everybody probably knows somebody like this. Like when you're a kid or whatever, and you're sleeping over at a friend's house, and there's like the wind blows, and you hear a leaf hit the window, and they're like, "Oh God, that was definitely." There's like no other explanation than a ghost.
The shadow of a tree branch.
Yeah, and it's like well, there's a lot of other explanations, but I acknowledge that one of the explanations could be a ghost. Yeah, especially stuff that's really really crazy. Like some people if the stuff that they're saying is true, then I could see how they would believe undeniably that ghosts are real. Like the people who are like, I was in bed and then the entire bed started shaking and it floated a foot in the air and then it fell to the ground. Like if that actually happened, like yeah, man, ghosts are real for sure. But all I have is you telling me about it.
That's it.
I didn't see that, so I don't know. When stuff gets like that.
Yeah, I'm not a big.
When stuff gets like too crazy, I don't really.
You start losing me on that.
I'm not really buying it. Like if ghosts could just like throw you down the stairs, man, like people would be falling down the stairs all
motherfuckers
day,
be getting fucked up
all day.
Like you killed me, motherfucker. I'll be back in a minute.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
We don't know who killed him. He just fell. You know what I'm saying? Think about that.
You murder me, I'm gonna murder you.
I'll be back in a minute. Let me have my funeral and shit, and I'll be back to holler at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't know. But then some people do have like really good evidence or whatever, but and you told me something. Jenna, last time I was getting my haircut, she told me about your sister seeing all the pictures moving in the basement or whatever. What happened?
Yeah, and that freaked me the fuck out.
Yeah, what'd she say happened?
She said she was downstairs and like our walls, they're concrete, You know, we live in an older house. The way they built them back then, it's a built-in storm shelter. So our basements are basically a storm shelter. So there's nothing that'll vibrate the walls down there. So all our pictures are like stuck to the wall.
Yeah.
There's no way for them to move. They won't fall or anything.
Yeah, and all that.
I
know all that's true because I've seen all that.
Right. We'll probably have to break the frame just when we do move out of this house just to get them off. And she said it was on the wall. Now, hold up. Now, I'm going to go back. I got to tell this story in kind of retrospect. Like, it's probably been about 3-4 years. I can't remember if we had Bohannon yet or not. I don't think we had Bohannon yet or not. I'm going to say we didn't. But we were down in the basement chilling. Jenna's on her laptop. I think I'm on the sticks. And I had a mini basketball, just laying to the side. And it did a circle, a complete circle. And it just stopped. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
that's
so
weird.
But to come to find out, the people that lived in the house before we did, didn't deserve an animal at all. These people should have their fucking asses kicked for what they allowed a dog to die in our fucking basement. Like next time you're over, I'll show you. Like, if you ever noticed at the top of our stairs, you see the gouge marks in there. That was from the dog, bro. Yeah. So it was that bad. So I think homie's still down there.
Damn.
And us being dope people, he might be comfortable with us. He might wanted to play with us that night.
Maybe,
I don't know. But yeah, that happened in there in the basement. And then for my sister to say that, but I've never had any. You never had
anything weird?
No, I've never. Other than the ball thing, I've never had anything weird happen in the house.
Yeah, and again, I don't. If what your sister says happened, then that's
well, yeah. And I'm saying if it is what I said, if it is what it was, it's what it was for you. You know what I mean? I'm not.
I ain't trying to insinuate that she's a liar by any means.
You know what I'm saying?
But if what she says is true, then ghosts are fucking real. But I didn't see it
for you.
Yeah,
we have been looking at houses to buy,
and
there was one particular where I was like, I ain't feeling this.
Yeah,
I had the BGs the whole time I was in there, dog. I had to take a shit.
Oh, you went to the an open house?
Yeah, and I was like, I ain't feeling this.
Weird.
Yeah, I ain't feeling this. Something about it, man. Like, I swear it was either. I know it was either maid quarters or slave quarters, and I'm like, why? I could see where they attached it through the years, but I'm like, I don't like the way that looks.
Yeah,
like a stowaway, or you know what I mean, hide in here. I was like, oh, I ain't feeling that. One actually had a fucking laundry chute, bro, where it went from the 4th floor all the way down to the basement.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
I wouldn't mind having a laundry chute.
Yeah,
I just throw my shit down the stairs.
You know what I'm saying?
I got done mowing and my shirt was wet as fuck. I took it off and just tossed it down the stairs.
You might have lost 7 pounds out in that motherfucker today, dog. It was spiced in the motherfucker out
It
there.
just was just on the floor at the bottom of the stairs.
My mom said something the other day. It really made me kind of like, where she said, this has been a different sun ever since that eclipse. I was like, damn, Mom, you just got deep on me, Mom, goddamn, but you've been right. The weather's just, shit's been off ever since that eclipse.
Climate change, man.
Like, you remember how fucking hot it was that day and how absolutely cold it got during that? Do you remember that day?
No.
It was a
When
day
was
like,
that?
Shit, man, we were still on South Street. Our shop was still on South Street. We've been here 5 years now, so 5 to 6 years ago, 7 maybe. Shit, has it been that long ago?
What the fuck was that? It's 2017.
Damn, yeah. Well, yeah, not really. Yeah, but 2017. Yeah, my mom said something. And I was like, Mom, you know what? You're right.
I don't remember even trying to see it.
Well, remember they told us we had to have the special glasses to watch it. I didn't use no glasses. I'm straight. I don't even. What was supposed to happen to us?
I don't know.
If we didn't wear the glasses,
you're staring at the sun, man. It's bad for your eyes.
Yeah, but it was covered up for 10 minutes.
I mean, not the whole time.
Oh yeah, you're right. I stared at it though. I'm straight. But I remember
you shouldn't do that. It's right. You shouldn't do that.
But I remember how fuck it was like 100 degrees that day, and then while that shit happened, man, it got cold, bro. I remember seeing my breath and shit. Probably got down to like 40 degrees. and then when that shit,
Yeah.
and then it warmed right back up.
And imagine that's why in like ancient times, you know, like imagine being an ancient motherfucker. Like you don't even know what the sun
And that
is.
shit happened. You don't know. Yeah, you don't know what the. You don't know what the. Ooh wee.
Yeah, you don't even know what the sun is. It's just this thing, like this big thing in the sky.
It's just there.
You don't
every
even
day.
really understand it.
And then it gets covered up.
And then one day it's gone, kind of.
Like what the fuck?
Whoa.
Damn.
Yeah, like no wonder those are so important. You know,
That'd
they were
building
they were building all their stuff like based on like where eclipses would happen and stuff. Like no wonder. No wonder. You know, like they had what other explanation would they have other than like God did that? He's like mad about something. I don't like. We don't know what God's mad about.
It's over.
He's fucking pissed.
It's over. It's over, Doc. It's over. What? Ooh, that was some tripped out shit.
Like we better build some pyramids or something.
Were they longer? Were they longer back then?
Eclipses?
You know, 'cause time wasn't when motherfuckers wasn't telling time back then.
I don't know.
Did it feel longer to them or was it shorter to them? Because that one took what? 10, 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe a little longer, I think it took. I remember it taking longer for it to happen.
I'm going to Google like the first recorded eclipse.
Yeah.
Let's see what they thought about that.
Just, 19.
Just like a picture of cave. 19. Well, I'm talking 3000 BC.
Let's go back. Let's see what we hit on. The first evidence of an eclipse.
First records of a solar eclipse. Yeah, date back about 5,000 years ago.
5,000 years ago. Really? Well, I guess that's when they started recording.
A series of spiral-shaped and circular petroglyphs. I don't know what that
petroglyphs
means. Let's see. I'll show you in a second.
Spiral? Why spiral?
Oh, never mind. I gotta fucking sign in. So, are they gonna show a picture of it? It's not. I'm not gonna read this whole article, but they think this drawing is an eclipse for some reason.
Okay, that would represent.
Oh, is that just another petroglyph?
Sun?
Yeah, I think they think that's supposed to be the sun.
And, and there was no fucking pollution and shit in the sky, so maybe they probably saw it. The sun was probably like it was fucking right there to them.
Yeah, so I guess they saw it. They saw it, and some dude immediately turned around and like kind of drew it, and that's all they could think to do. Like, hey, this happened. I don't know what they thought about it. Let's do. Why did ancient people think eclipses happened?
Yeah,
because like they found out about the sun and space and shit in like Greek times, you know, like that was thousands of years ago too.
They were recording, a sundial. I mean, I'm sure they didn't call it time back then.
I guess in ancient China they thought that eclipses were omens that foretell the future of the emperor. Whatever that means.
Okay, omen.
Yeah, they thought it meant.
I've always associated omen like with bad things.
Yeah. But they thought it meant. So I guess like if you were the emperor and then an eclipse happened, they were just like,
you might die.
They're like, you're fucked.
You out of here. God damn, it's you, homie, not us. They coming for you. Damn. I guess that would be an omen.
That's just bad luck.
So is there proof that they died?
No, I don't know.
Is that? Oh yeah, you don't want to read the article because if they died, then shit.
Yeah, I don't know. It's bad. Well, I mean, I would read the article. I just don't know. I just don't know if that article says that. And I'm not gonna
there's evidence of it like every year, motherfucker.
Well, I don't know. Well, they probably did just because they were like, the eclipse happened because of you, so we need to get rid of you.
Oh, yeah, okay. We killing you.
Like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy because they're like,
okay, we got to take you out.
That's just me speculating. They're like, oh, you're a horrible emperor because the sun's gone.
We put you in here.
Yeah.
And we taking you out of here.
Yeah, so like something bad's going to happen to you, and we don't want to be around when it does, you know? So they probably got like exiled or something. That's just bad luck, dude. You just happen to be emperor when
you, homie. Damn, ma.
Yeah, so ancient people thought it meant the world was coming to an end, great evil would follow. Yeah, myths often involved a beast destroying the sun. Yeah, Chinese myths were like a dragon was eating the sun.
Nothing about the weather. They didn't think like anything about like the weather, rainy season.
I don't know.
Drought season.
It could have been the sun god becoming angry, sad, or sick.
Damn, we need a weatherman, dog.
There's 6 ways cultures have explained eclipses. Let's see. Yeah, in ancient China, it was believed that solar eclipses occurred when a celestial dragon attacked and devoured the sun. Chinese eclipse records are some of the oldest and go back more than 4,000 years. One simply states, oh, they found one record that just says the sun has been eaten. Because, I mean, the first time they saw it, they didn't know if it was coming back.
Yeah.
They thought it was going to be forever. You know, like the sun went away and they were like, oh, it's just gone now. And then it came back and they were like, oh, God. So they were probably like panicking. And this dude just wrote down, the sun's gone on a piece of paper.
It's out of there.
Yep.
That's what we need proof of. We need a weatherman. What has weather behavior been after eclipses?
To frighten away the dragon and save the sun, people would bang drums and make loud noises during an eclipse. Since the sun always returned after this ruckus making, it's easy to see how the tradition was perpetuated.
Well, that's odd you say that because I remember that day. It was like insanely it was like eerily quiet.
Yeah, so in China, that's why they do all those like eclipse celebrations and stuff with like the lions and the fireworks.
The year of this, the year of that.
Yeah, I think that's why it's based on like
and they're all animals that can defeat, that come out in victory most of the times.
Yeah, well, I mean, except like rat.
Rat, yeah. I don't know, man. A rat
horse
chew through a goddamn metal pipe.
And then I guess eventually my foot fell asleep. I gotta put it down. Eventually, they just got used to it, and in about 90 BC, they were like, it's whatever. Like, this shit happens.
It's a party now.
Like, this shit happens all the time.
It's a party now.
Indian, this is an article that goes through, like, like 6 ancient cultures and just gives, like, a paragraph about each one, and I can digest that.
This one should be interesting.
Yeah, so ancient Hindu mythology provides a rather graphic and disturbing... Oh, this is from Britannica, by the way, if anybody wants our source. A rather graphic and disturbing explanation for solar eclipses. According to legend, a cunning demon named Rahu sought to drink the nectar of the gods and attain immortality. This is a complicated thing. The Chinese was just like, dragon ate it.
That's it.
This is like a whole
day's over.
This is like a whole soap opera. So Rahu wants the nectar of the gods.
I've seen that name before.
He disguised himself as a woman and attempted to attend a banquet of the gods and was devoured by Vishnu. As punishment, the demon was beheaded, and it is his decapitated head flying across the sky that darkens the sun during an eclipse.
Wow, damn!
That's like it's much more elaborate than the other.
Quite violent.
Some versions say that Rahu was actually able to get a sip of the nectar before he was beheaded, and that's why his immortal head, in perpetual pursuit of the sun, flies in front of it sometimes.
So that would be like a full coverage. What do they call it? Yeah. Partial coverage, because it doesn't cover it.
Yeah, I guess
the one in 2017 was a full coverage.
I guess in Hindu mythology they think that his immortal head just eats the sun every once in a while, but it always comes back because he doesn't have a throat anymore because he's beheaded. So it just comes in and comes out the other side.
God damn.
Next one is Incan. The Inca of South America worshipped Inti, and I don't know how to actually say these, so sorry. They worshipped Inti, the all-powerful sun god. Inti was generally believed to be benevolent, but solar eclipses were understood to be a sign of his wrath and displeasure. So they were ones who were like, oh, the sun god's pissed, basically, because they're like, he's trying to let us know.
Nothing good so far.
Trying to let us know he's mad.
Nothing good.
Spiritual leaders would attempt to divine the source of his anger and determine which sacrifices should be offered.
Somebody got to go.
This is like...
So we're back to...
Although the Inca rarely practiced human sacrifice, it is thought that an eclipse was occasionally deemed serious enough to do so. So sometimes the eclipse would happen, and they would be like, we got to sacrifice somebody. Who's it going to be?
Damn.
And they fasted for a while afterwards, I guess.
Okay.
Next one is Native American. According to Choctaw legend, a mischievous black squirrel gnawing on the sun is the cause of the eclipse. Like the Chinese dragon, the squirrel must be frightened away by the clamor and yells of the... So if you see it, you got to start yelling. Ojibwe and Cree peoples have a story that a boy... I'm not even going to try to say his name. Sorry, I'll get canceled if I try to say it. This will I'd slaughter it.
Yeah.
So there's a boy that sought revenge on the sun for burning him. He catches the sun in a snare, causing an eclipse. There you go.
Nothing good.
Native American ones tend to be about like animals and I guess all of them are.
Like the Chinese.
I guess all of them are.
Yeah, but I guess all. Except.
Well, no, the Indian one wasn't. Yeah, but the Chinese one was about a dragon. But a dragon, that's not a real thing. The Native American ones tend to be about like
animal.
They tend to be about like squirrels and wolves and like stuff that's real. It's kind of cool, man. I'm down with that. And I mean, to go back to our original conversation for a second, like if there was like a higher power or whatever, I think it would be something more natural like that.
Like like a beast.
No, I mean not a beast, but it would be like I don't know. I don't really know what.
Definitely not.
It would be
form.
Like
definitely not.
And I don't think it would even have a form. It would just be like it's already here. You know, like it's already in everything. Kind of like the Force in Star Wars.
I can dig it.
You know, it's already in everything. Like the squirrels, the badgers, the wolves, us, the trees. Like everything's connected, kind of thing. Like I feel like it would be more like.
Well, that's a fact. All 93, 94, some argue 93, some argue 94 elements that are found in Earth are found in our bodies. Yeah. So you definitely
so
onto
like
it
when
right there.
when Native American stuff talks about like I don't know, just stuff that they've actually seen and is actually kind of occurring, like I think that probably would be closer. I think. Just me. But next one, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. We as always we indulge before the show, so some of these abstract concepts.
Roll with us.
Get away from me a little bit. This one's West African.
Oh, hit me.
The Batama Liba are an ancient people of northern Togo and Benin.
Oh, my people.
According to their legend, human anger and fighting spread to the sun and the moon, who began to fight with each other and caused an eclipse. The legendary First Mothers urged the villagers to demonstrate peace to the sun and moon to convince them to stop the brawl. During an eclipse, Batama Liba people make amends for old feuds and peacefully come together to encourage peace between the sun and the moon. That's kind of cool. I like
Black
that.
folk, boy. Black folks.
That one, I like that a lot. That's pretty cool.
Hell yeah, that was my people too.
Man. Yeah, that's cool, man. That one's pretty good. I like that one.
I probably still got cousins running around over there and shit.
And that one, I mean, not even just to explain it, but to like, we need to be better people too. You know,
that's probably the best one.
Like that was
there,
was the first. This is the first one so far that had anything to do with
positivity.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody fighting. Ain't nobody eating each other. Ain't nobody killing each other. Man, we need to squash this shit, man.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Okay.
Black people gotta love us.
Egyptian, also African.
Oh yeah, African.
Surprisingly, ancient Egyptians did not leave any explicit records detailing solar eclipses. Such an event would undoubtedly have been observed by these sun worshippers
throughout all times. Huh?
Some scholars have suggested that perhaps eclipses were highly distressing, and were deliberately left unrecorded. So yeah, I guess they didn't write anything down about it, but they think that maybe it just stressed them out so much.
They went into
that they just didn't
hiding.
write it down. They thought
they probably went into fucking hiding, bro. Nobody was outside.
Yeah, they thought maybe it was deliberately left unrecorded so as to not endow the event with a degree of permanence or tempt the sun god Ra. One Egyptologist has suggested that various references to an apparently metaphorical form of blindness align with the historical eclipse dates. So they do talk about being blind at the same time as eclipses are supposed to happen. Now I'm going to type in ancient aliens solar eclipse.
That's interesting. They didn't record anything.
That's pretty cool, man. That's good stuff.
I'm going to have to look that up again when I get to the crib.
There's actually not a lot about aliens.
Well, shit.
I guess what would aliens have to do with an eclipse?
I'm surprised there wasn't one that said, like, they did it. Or I guess they wouldn't say aliens, but what would they say? Sky people or...
Yeah. I guess that's basically what gods are, though, you know?
Oh, man, see, you on to something again. What if they are the gods?
Yeah, and this all came from talking about groundhogs. Can you believe that?
Motherfucking woodchucks.
Crazy.
That don't fuck with wood at all. But speaking of being canceled, dog, you said the magic word.
Yeah.
I think I texted you. Was it yesterday, night before? And I said, "Who the fuck is Jason Aldean?"
Oh yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
I had never heard of him, and I fuck with country, dog. So it ain't like I'm just like that black dude that I fuck with some country. You know what I mean? Oh, a lot of the old shit. You know what I mean? Waylon.
Yeah. I guess I just don't get what he's even trying to say.
I get completely what he's trying to say.
Well, I mean, yeah, I get what I don't understand what he's trying to say if it's not what it looks like he's trying to say. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what else he would be trying to say other than some, I don't know. I guess.
Well, I wonder if he wrote the song first. I also want to know who even came up with the video concept.
Yeah.
And one thing that you mentioned that I was like, man, I love this dude. That's why I love this dude. The location.
Yeah, so he filmed that music video for, I don't know exactly where it was at, but he filmed that music
Columbia,
video.
Tennessee, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so he filmed that video at a courthouse where there was a race riot and a lynching
of a 16-year-old boy.
And he had this music video about. I haven't listened to the song or seen the music video.
I listened to it,
but all I've done is read an article about it. So the song's about like, come try that in a small town, whatever. And then the video is playing footage of like Black Lives Matter protests.
Mm-hmm.
So the implication is like, come try doing a Black Lives Matter protest in a small town. And he's talking about like, we have guns and we take care of ourselves and stuff. So it's like, I don't know. There's nothing like, and maybe this is the problem with everything, and the systemic racism problem. But there's nothing like outwardly like racist
there's
about it.
Nothing outwardly,
but it toes the perfect line of being like, people who want it to be a racist thing can easily be like, fuck black people, and this song is about that. But it's easy for the people that made the song to be like, "Oh no, it wasn't about that at all. We didn't say anything racist." But it's just like it's not a coincidence that you decide to film it where there was a lynching. And like, why use like Black Lives Matter protests? And then what's the song?
Historically, race riots at this location, plus the lynching.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, and regardless of even the race thing, it's like, what are you trying to say? What is this song even trying to be about? Like, don't come protest in a small town, or we'll kill you. Like, I don't.
You're gonna get shot.
Like, regardless of the race, like completely removing it. Is it saying like, don't protest stuff in this town, or we'll shoot you?
Like, true experience, and I won't say any names, but after the George Floyd thing, like, Facebook Live had become like a thing, and and I think over that a lot of people abused it, and you see people's name pop up whether they like it or they're listening.
Oh yeah,
and I saw a lot of names where I'm like, holy shit, like I know some of these people through other people, and most of these people, being in Nebraska, we're small towns everywhere. I was like, wow. So, knowing these small towns, and I know goddamn well ain't no black people in these small towns, like, and some of them looked at me crazy, and I haven't been. I said I'm never passing Air Park again. And you know where Air Park is. You know what's after Air Park. It gets real rural. I haven't passed Air Park, bro, since that shit happened.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy, man.
I mean, and then on top of that,
let's see. While you're talking, I'm gonna type in Jason Aldean and see
the footage that you use, bro. I mean, I wasn't out here claiming Black Lives Matter, but I definitely got the idea. You know what I mean? You whether you agreed with it or not, you definitely should have been like, yeah, okay, I get it.
Well, and then the video closes with like, and this is I'm gonna make some assumptions. I don't know if they're true or not, but it shows these protests full of like Black Lives Matter protests. So I would assume the protest footage is like black people. And then the music video, the article I read said the music video closes with like people farming and having dinner together. And I can only imagine that
we don't do that.
Well, right. I can only imagine that all those people at the part where everything's like peaceful and fine, all those people were white, probably.
Right. But
I don't know if that's true, but I'm speculating. I could be wrong. admittedly haven't done my complete research on this. Like, I don't want to watch the music video because I don't give a fuck about Jason Aldean. And
I actually did. I was like, man, let me watch this shit before I read anything. You know, this was just hearing. You know, I'm on my YouTube. You know, I try to stay up on my shit. You know, like I said, who the fuck is Jason Aldean? I actually thought he was a country singer. I thought it was Nebraska. You know, because I saw the farming shit, and I was like, is this dude from Nebraska? And I listened to it, and I was like, okay, I won't say it's racial, but the undertones definitely are. Like, come try that in a small town.
Yeah, like,
and I'm old enough to remember going down south and shit, the family reunions with my family and shit. And I've seen these banners, you know, on the town square or whatever you want to call it, Main Street, where, you know, these are sundown towns. That's what you're singing about. This is a sundown town. You know what a sundown town is?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what you're saying. This is a sundown town. We all know what a sundown town means.
Yeah, I'm reading his defense. He put out a big statement on Twitter, and it's like, it's not that good of a defense.
Somebody probably wrote it for him.
Like he basically just says, like, cancel culture is out of control, and his song's not racist, so get over it. And he's not racist. And it's like, again, like, it's not outwardly racist, but the implication is pretty bad, man.
It's pretty bad, bro.
And it's like, it's bad enough that someone had to have realized that it would be bad at some point, and then decided that they didn't care.
We don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like someone at some point was like, do you think we should use actual Black Lives Matter protest footage in this music video? Do you think that's a good idea? And someone
that was discussed.
Yeah, and they were like, well, you know, we're gonna do it.
That was discussed.
And someone was like, where should we have this at? And then they picked a location where there was a lynching.
That was all discussed. That was all
like
planned.
They did it. They, like, whether it was racist, whether it was intentionally racist or not, or whatever. Like, it was all done intentionally.
It was all discussed. It was all planned.
Like, whether the point of your song, like, people are saying it's like a pro lynching song. I don't know that I would go that far.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far.
But
the undertone.
Yeah, like, the implication is bad, man. It's bad.
The undertones are.
And you deserve all the criticism you're getting, for sure. This isn't like a cancel culture's crazy thing. It's not like you.
But like you said, it created that line where I bet if we look up his numbers right now, they probably went up.
They did.
And it's probably.
I know they did. Just like Morgan Wallen, after he got that video of him fucking calling people the N-word and shit.
Right.
Like, he was chart topping after that.
Right.
That, like, skyrocketed his career.
Right.
And it's like, whether you listen, you can't like say everybody that listens to country music is a fucking racist, but like, when people's careers get better after they do something kind of racist,
you see them. You see like, 24 million of them right there.
Like, people are like, I like Morgan Wallen better now because he said the N-word in that video. Like, I don't know that happens to Metallica. You know, like, if Metallica goes out and says the N-word a bunch, I don't know that they get more fans after that.
No.
Or like,
I don't think
even, I don't know.
Not that generation, not that
even like Shakira or something. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of trying to think of like a famous, like a currently, like Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift comes out, like, I was trying to think of a famous artist, but all the ones I could think of were black. Like, I'm trying to think of the most popular. I'm like, if Beyonce came out and said the N-word, I'm like, well, nobody would care because she's allowed to, I guess. But so if Taylor Swift at her next concert stood up, said the N-word a bunch of times, like, I don't think she would get bigger after that.
No, that would kill her.
Yeah,
all the collaborations that she's done.
But it seems like, and it's not just Morgan Wallen.
The fake speeches that she's given, that would kill her.
Yeah, like, I don't know every single controversy that's ever happened in country music, but I know it's not just Jason Aldean. I know it's not just Morgan Wallen, but like, people's careers get better.
I think I even seen one tweet on there where it said, country, I'll use my words, where country shows don't get shot up or some shit like that. I mean, and I almost, but I was like, what was that Vegas fucking concert? What is it? It was a country concert. Remember the guy that shot out the window in Vegas a while back ago? Wasn't that a country concert? Tell me if I'm wrong, if I'm right.
I'm gonna find out.
I'm pretty sure that was a country concert. You remember which one I'm talking about?
It was the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival. So that sounds country music as fuck
they got
to
it.
me.
Route 91, yeah.
Route 91 Harvest Music Festival. Let's see who is there.
Route 91.
Fruit.
That's what that was.
Harvest.
Fucking country.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, number 1 on the list, Jason Aldean.
He was there?
Yeah, he was there.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Jason Aldean, Jake Owen, Big and Rich, Luke Combs, Dylan Scott, Kane Brown, Kane Brown is basically a rapper at this point.
Come on with it, dog. Let's talk about it, man. Have you seen this dude? Have you seen this dude? Man, this dude's wearing sneakers.
Yeah.
This motherfucker got diamonds in his ears and shit. He's got chains on his shit.
He almost has to be a plant to
definitely a plant.
Get black people into country music a little bit.
But hold up, bro. Let me take you back to country music while we're on the country music tip. Bill Pickett.
Yeah.
Ray Charles. Hell, even James Brown. We're all country singers. We're all country. I'll go all the way back to Chuck Berry, Little Richard.
Mm-hmm.
They were pretty much the originators of country music. And, and then guys like Elvis, Conway, Twitty, and all those guys came in, you know what I'm saying? But country music has been a big part of our culture.
Yeah. What I've found is every time I Google where some kind of music came from, it's pretty much always from black people.
Yeah. The rhythm, the blues,
it's like people didn't make music at all outside of Africa.
No.
Is what it seems like. I'm sure they did, but it's pretty much what it seems like. Like every genre of music, it's like you Google it far enough, a black dude did it.
Drums, bass.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like the famous Dave Chappelle episode. Did you remember when he had John Mayer on there playing guitar, and he was in the barbershop, and he had John Mayer playing guitar, and all the brothers was in there like, man, shut the fuck up. Then he had Questlove, and he had him, under a blanket. So he pulled the blanket off of Questlove, and Questlove started playing the drums, and everybody started dancing in the barbershop. I was like, yeah, that's real shit. That's real shit. My oldest son used to say, and he's 30-something now, he used to say, white people listen to the meow, 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 and black people listen to the boom, boom, boom. He used to say that shit, bro. I'm like, well, I guess you're right, man. Yeah, I guess you're right. But rock and roll, country, very fine line between the two. But yeah, we've been there since day one with that shit, man. I would say country is ours, and we're like coming back to get it with guys like
Darius Rucker.
Hootie. I was gonna say Hootie.
I was at that concert. My wife still laughs.
I was at that concert
like Hootie.
Hootie, fucking Kane Brown, man. I don't know what he's about to do. He's. I just said that not too long ago. I think I said it when he came out. I was like, oh, he's gonna be a rapper in a minute, and he's probably gonna be dope. Watch, wait.
Yeah. So Jason Aldean was at that fucking thing.
Damn, he was at that one, huh?
Yeah.
Did he headline it? Like this? Is this
He's
dude hot?
He's number one on the list. I mean, I don't listen to country music like that either. Sorry. I'll listen to Johnny Cash and stuff like that. And I'll even go like.
Do you say he's
maybe
country
like
though?
Yeah.
Is he? Did you say country?
And I would even go like maybe all the way up to like older Brad Paisley, just because my mom listened to it. Like I don't even know. I can't even think.
I like that motherfucker Kenny Chesney.
Yeah.
There's some he fucks with the bras hard too.
There's definitely I've heard a lot of country. There's some country that I know just because my mom listened to it, but I don't ever like.
I'm not.
Country ain't never been playing.
I ain't going to
AirPods.
Yeah, I'm not going to it.
Yeah. So I've heard of Jason Aldean, and honestly, probably the worst concert I've been to was a fucking country concert.
Who?
Because my wife liked Luke Bryan, and my wife doesn't even like Luke Bryan anymore after this. Just because the concert, he was doing that farm tour thing where he was just doing concerts on people's farms.
Okay.
And it was just like, it was just shit. It just wasn't that fun. Like the lines for everything were so long. The logistics were just fucked up. Like we spent the entire time like in the line for porta potties basically, and then we left the concert early, and then
he seems commercial.
We didn't listen to Luke Bryan no more.
Is he?
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you a Luke Bryan song.
Like, and it seems like every 2 or 3 weeks these fuckers got a show. Like
that
an
one
award
that's like,
show.
It's like whiskey make my baby get a little frisky. That one. That's like the only. I think that's Luke Bryan. But anyway, so point is, I'm vaguely familiar with country music, so I have heard of Jason Aldean for a long time. He's been around a while. I know that.
And he's not.
But I couldn't tell you a Jason Aldean song.
Okay.
Besides this, like, Try That in a Small Town one.
Try That in a Small Town.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens to him after this.
Yeah. I mean, probably nothing.
Probably nothing.
And that's what I'm saying, because it's like, and this isn't, I'm not trying to accuse anybody, but it's like, it's so perfectly on the line of being kind of racist, but not being like enforceable, that it has to be on purpose. Like, it's like, it seems so calculated so that you can, and it's kind of like, not to get political, but it kind of reminds me of like what Republicans do, you know? It's like, just like you say something just racist enough to get racist white people to vote for you, but not racist enough to make black Republicans not vote for you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, they're called,
yeah.
This is like a social justice term thing, but they're called dog whistles. Have you heard that?
I've heard that.
It's like when you say something that on the surface seems fine, but a certain group of people, when they hear it, they know what you mean.
Get a whole nother undertone.
Right.
The undertones.
Right. So this Jason Aldean thing seems like, it just seems a lot like dog whistling.
Well, the American flag. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never felt one way or the other about the American flag. Like, I didn't like overly love it, but I didn't hate it. I understood that it represented my country.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do love it.
You know what I mean? But it became a symbol.
Yeah.
Over time.
Right.
You know, and the whole background of the video is the American flag.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I see what you're doing there. You know what I mean? And there were, there was a lot of people.
Well, see, and that's where I don't like it, is when this racist stuff gets paired up with patriotism. Because then I feel like I can't have a fucking American flag patch on my backpack, or else people are gonna think I'm a fucking racist.
And see, and that's what I agree with you there.
But I do love America. Like, I do think America's awesome, and I do like the flag.
We're the best country in the goddamn world.
Yeah, and like, I was in the Marine Corps, and I would put a flag on something, but it's like, you pair it up with being a patriot.
And this is nothing against Africa or anything, you know what I mean? One day maybe I would love to visit, but the conditions over there ain't, something that I deal with. And then people like, if I'm going there, I ain't doing that. I'm staying right here. Yeah. I mean, regardless of what you think, it's still the best country in the motherfucking world.
And that was part of Jason Aldean's statement response too. He's like, I'm just an American and I love my country and blah blah blah. And it's like,
okay, but the undertone of that,
like,
you know what I mean? Like, that became a symbol, or an undertone of racism. I just love my country. Like, I do too. Like, I'm not able to, or I shouldn't, or I can't. Is that what you're saying? So I'm an American. So am I, motherfucker.
Yeah, so's everybody here.
Like, I don't even, and some black people will argue and, get angry about it, and some agree with me. I don't even like being called African American. Like, for the past 500 or 600 years, like, my people have been Americans, fucking Americans. I'm fucking American. I don't like the African American thing.
I never felt. I've always said black.
Black,
and nobody's ever had a problem.
I love the word black. I'm black. I love it.
Like, I've called people black. I've called black dudes.
But white dude, you just heard me on the phone. White dude, black dude, or brown dude. You know what I mean? It's not racist.
Yeah, like, I've been talking to people, been like, oh, well, you're a black dude, so like, whatever. Like, and I feel like saying African American is worse, because it's like, it further is like, you're not from here. Kind of, to me,
or you're trying too hard,
right? Well, it's not really my place to decide like whether somebody likes being called African American or black or whatever. But it's like, I know you, and like, you never been to Africa. I know it. You're not from Africa. You never been to Africa. Like, you're just American, dog. You're like, I would say black American.
They don't call white people European Americans.
Yeah, it's like, they don't call you French American or whatever unless you're like actually from France.
Here on a visa or
I don't know.
Shit.
Yeah, and it does just seem like you're trying too hard.
I don't like the African American thing, but like I said, someone argued with me about it.
No one's ever had a problem with me saying black.
Even black American. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't mind that, but the African American thing, I've always had a problem with. I think I remember mid-'80s. Yeah, about mid-'80s. It was Jesse Jackson running. I think he was running for president then. Where because before that we were Afro-American. I think that was from the 60s to the 70s maybe.
That seems
Jesse Jackson.
That seems a little worse than Afro.
Yeah, and even before that, I think we were colored.
Yeah, you definitely can't say that.
You definitely can't say that.
But NAACP?
Well, the NAACP, and I think I learned this years ago, was not just. It's not just for black people.
Yeah.
It's for colored people. So it wasn't. I mean, and shit. What was this about 10 years ago? It was a white lady that was posing as a black woman. That was the CEO or the Rachel Dolezal or whatever the fuck. So that it always seemed like shit to me anyway.
Yeah.
And then when that fucking comes out, I was like, oh yeah, fuck this shit. You know what I mean? And then NAACP.
It's just weird to me that they don't change it, man. Like
after so many years, yeah. And speaking of that, Ice Cube's been in the news. We must protect Ice Cube at all costs right now. With the new elections coming up and the plan for Black America, and all that shit, where he said, this ain't a plan for minorities. This ain't a plan for people of color. This is a plan for black people, the descendants of slaves in America. Descendants of slaves in America. I know there's, descendants of slaves of all races all over, but we're talking about America, in America.
I saw there was some, I think it was in Florida, some school that wanted to teach like how slavery benefited black people. They wanted that to be the lesson plan, like how black people benefited from slavery.
We didn't.
Yeah, it seems kind of weird.
Florida, I don't know what the fuck is going on in Florida, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how could you even
I don't know.
Fix your mouth to even say we benefit. What the fuck? Whoa, we benefit.
Well, you get to live in America now, dude.
We benefited off slavery. Man, that hurt my brain to even try to wrap it around that.
I'll try to find that.
School. Damn. We're still fucking hurting from that shit. Like the wound is still open, man. I mean,
let me see if I can find that. We're just about out of time, but Florida's 2023 social studies curriculum will include lessons on how slaves developed skills that could be used for personal benefit.
We came over here with those skills.
Yeah,
we were already tool makers and die makers.
Well, and the slave owners weren't letting them learn how to read.
Right.
Shit.
We
were they were purposely keeping them from reading so they wouldn't be able to write each other letters.
Right.
Like
I mean, the first slaves. I mean, this is fact. I mean, we taught civilization. A lot of the white people back then were suffering from leprosy and disease and famine and shit. We came over here and taught them how to wash their food, how to cultivate their crops the right way, how to fucking bathe and take care of your teeth and shit, because we had already been doing that. So,
a 216-page document about
what?
About this shit.
Oh my God! Wow.
Oh, another language that has drawn the ire of some people includes teaching about how black people were also perpetrators of violence during race massacres. Like being like, well, black people were getting murdered, but also there were some black people that killed some white people during that too. But,
yeah.
But
I mean, and while we on factual, shit, there were also some black slave owners. There were some Native American slave owners. They all had. That's how we all mixed.
Well, I mean, but they're trying to make it like stuff like the Atlanta race riot and the Tulsa massacre and stuff was like also black people's fault.
Wow.
Like, yeah, white people did it, but black people have some responsibility too.
This is in Florida, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Who's the guy down there? DeSantis?
The Florida Teachers Union.
Florida's them.
No. The Florida Teachers Union is like, they're fighting it. They're like, this is crazy. Okay. This is crazy.
Educator, like, yeah. A true educator.
Yeah, the Florida State Board of Education approved it. And I mean, from the pictures, it looks like they're all a bunch of fucking white people.
Right. We talking about Florida.
Yeah.
You got to take Miami away and maybe Orlando. It's good old boy country.
Yeah, so the 1920 Ocoee massacre, Ocoee, have you heard of this? No, so what happened was at least 30 African Americans were killed for trying to vote. But they want to teach that like
it was their fault for coming over here.
Right. Kind of.
Wow.
Like they were doing something that they weren't supposed to do.
You know, and I get a lot of youngsters in here, you know, and I try to put fat on their heads. I try to give them facts, you know,
Yeah, for sure.
why they in here and shit, you know.
You should, man.
We were talking about Pangea, you know, how you were able to walk from continent to continent, you know, how, you know, we I think we did an episode on it, how Christopher Columbus did like 30, 40 years of fucking up before he even got to America. You know what I mean? And just if you were born during, damn sure during and after slavery in the United States of America, you're not 100% anything. You're not 100. If you, I don't give a fuck if you think you're 100% fucking white. You're not. You might not have no African in you, or whatever, but you're not 100% anything.
I mean, what even is? I mean, for some, like you've talked about this before, for some white people, you're not white enough anyway if you're not from the right white place.
Right. Yeah. Well, right. I told you about the homie in the penitentiary.
So like, oh, you're fucking Italian piece of shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, well,
And I haven't told that story to many people, but the ones that I have told that to have all been white people, and they just look at me and I'm like, yeah. If he said if you didn't look like if they don't look like me, they ain't fucking white. It blew me away, bro. I was like, whoa. Yeah. And this dude was fucking white.
Yeah, like there's white people that I'm not white enough for.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Well, shit, the term white trash.
Yeah.
That didn't come from black people. That came from other white people, where they were indentured servants or maybe wanderers, you know, back then, and they would take that job in the field, working next to the slaves, and the slave owner standing on the porch, you know, eating a raw steak, and called him white trash because he was willing to work next to them slaves like that. That came from their own people.
Yeah, it's fucked up. On that note, that's all the time we got for this week. I think that was a pretty good conversation, man. We covered the gambit. Missed
really
it, man. We didn't even talk about 2K. But I'm getting a triple double every single game.
I was gonna say, man. I don't think I told you last time. Put that shit on rookie, dog, and dominate.
That's what I did.
Okay,
fuck, dude. I'm dropping that. I'm dropping like 80 points on those motherfuckers.
I'm doing the Jordan challenge right now, and I got stuck on the 63-point one. So I said, man, fuck this shit, man. I tried it 3 times. I went to rookie. I scored 127 points with 30 assists, dog. I'm the shit.
But you know what's fucked up is that, real quick, that my player storyline where they're like, oh, we're going to trade you, whatever.
Right.
I'm like, dog, I'm averaging 50 points a game. 50 points, 20 assists, 14 rebounds per game.
They just fucking with you right now.
Yeah, and
you gotta go to the meetings. You go to the meetings?
Yeah, I'm doing I'm past all that stuff now. But they're like, I got my starting job back and stuff. But they're like, well, MP, we got to put you on the bench. I'm like, put me on the fucking bench, dog. I'm going to come off the bench and score 100 points. I don't care.
You be back in the starting lineup.
Yeah, dude, like, I'll come off the bench and have full stamina.
I think it's 5 or 10 games or something.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Yeah, you got to get like a B- teammate ranking for 6 games or something.
You be all right.
Yeah, so I already got it all back. Like,
get your skills up.
I think I'm almost done with my first season.
The new one's coming out.
Yeah.
Get your skills up.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. All right, well, anyways, hope you guys learned something this week from our conversations about slavery and eclipses
and shit.
Reading Britannica and stuff. That was fun, man. That was a good one. I'm glad to be back. Glad to be back. Took a couple weeks off, but it's always good to come back, dude. Check us out on our social media, mostly Instagram and Twitter. Videos are on YouTube and Spotify. Audio is on pretty much every single audio app. Email us, alwayschillinpodcast@gmail.com. Comment on the videos, comment on our Instagram posts, like, subscribe, follow, review, do all that stuff wherever you do it. And most importantly, tell your friends to listen, even if we never ever hear from them. It's just nice to know that people are listening to the stuff that we're saying. Anyways, hope you guys have a good week.
Holla.